being world beaters. Anyway, so they have a good chance here against Nubris, who's shown that they are beatable and susceptible to teams that are not necessarily the top 5 in NA, as they lost earlier to CLG on a map. So we'll see how that goes. On defense there for this Nubris squad, it is going to be a Symmetra. Yay! Bonathu will be on that. Custa is on the Lucio for the moment. I imagine he'll switch to Mercy. Buds is on Pharah. IDDQD on the McCree. Stoop will play Reinhardt, and Cool Matt on Reaper.
Alright, so Cool Matt will be on the Reaper, as you mentioned. So I need to the interesting thing here, of course, McCree coming out here in favor, or rather against 76. So that's interesting. Usually IDDQD would be on the 76 here. They're saying, you know, we want the McCree. I don't know if I necessarily agree, given how partially fall-off affects McCree right now on this point, but I guess we'll see. Either way, though, taking a look here at the offense coming out here from the side of One Shot. It's going to be Exy here on the Zarya, Ultimate Weapon on Pharah, Wolf on the Lucio, Chronic on Reinhardt, Dot on the Roadhog, and Psycho Waffle going to be on Mercy, despite how much he's teasing you right now with May.
Never May. Alright, so look, yeah, pretty standard on both sides. It should be a rather early on poke battle here, back and forth between the Reinhardts mostly. And whenever anyone's running Symmetra, that's going to be a big focus here. They got to see, can you get the teleporter up? Was it worth it?
Alright, so offense right now moving their way in. Ultimate Weapon looking for poke, and he's going right on the soldier, or McCree in the you say soldier's just gonna play soldier, and he's gonna take him out with the headshot from McCree. So IDDQD right now making the McCree work out. Takes out the Pharah out of the sky just like a soldier would, and now moving it over the top. Going to get hooked right in by Todd, and almost makes his escape, but not quite. Finds his face melted off instead. A little bit too aggro there, and this is an opportunity here. There's gonna be a 65 in favor of One Shot. And this is where Nubris has to be really, really careful as they go forward. They will have a teleporter up, though, so this team fight needs to be decisive for One Shot, or they're going to find themselves just whittled down by reinforcements.
Teleporter already down. It went in kind of like in the traditional old spot down back. Bonatho goes down after it. I imagine he's going to come up as a Lucio if this fight goes on any longer.
Cool Matt right now gets in the back line, ends up getting taken out. IDDQD on a double kill right now. Part of that was a Deadeye. Looks for Ultimate Weapon in the back, not able to get it. 4 kills coming out here from Nubris, so reinforcements are coming in. Mostly off the Resurrects. Of course, the teleporter got taken out early. So they're going to hold on, and that was a great opportunity for One Shot, just not able to capitalize.
Yeah, the teleporter came down in like that really old spot where it used to go down like very early on, and they were able to take it out immediately. I think it was kind of like thrown down as a panic teleporter. The next one would probably be in a much more defensive position, but he's already at 70% on this next teleporter. However, the offense is loaded for bear on their ults.
Oh, look at Cool Matt, though. Cool Matt's creeping here to the back. He's going to be moving in here in just a moment. Ultimate Weapon to the barrage comes in over the top. Will Cool Matt be able to turn it back in favor of Nubris? Gets 2 kills. Looking for Psycho. Takes out Psycho in the end. 1 good triple kill. Deserves another. And oh my goodness, Cool Matt might have done it here in turning the tide. Big plays from Ultimate Weapon, but just a little bit bigger from Cool Matt.
Yeah, Cool Matt and IDDQD on his McCree, absolutely cleaning up their DPS on the carry, but no one... they're just able to completely wreck that first push. However, the reinforcements are a little bit late. They can keep up this pressure.
And they're coming back in. Nubris has done a good job of hanging in here. IDDQD is going to be looking for a Deadeye here right in the beginning. Buds takes out Psycho Waffle as well. There's not going to be an offensive res, so this is already bad for One Shot. It's about to get worse. The skulls are coming up. Oh my goodness, Exy, the last moment, stops IDDQD from getting what he wants to do. Custodio still getting res to fall on here. Bud's almost going down. He would have missed out on that res too if he had died, so. Bud's lucky to stay alive. Only a minute left here for One Shot, and One Shot now in a bit of trouble.
Nothing's gonna stop.
Well, that's a good push coming from them. Psycho has to stay alive this next push.
Oh, Ben's now trying to hold things out here. Been doing pretty well with Sierra so far. Bud's holding on to his bras. Stoop hanging on to his Earth Shatter.
Where is Psycho? Psycho's not even
Stoop
in.
Actually, he can explode with Earth Shatter here in a moment. The offense being really aggro. Chronic is down. They don't have the shield. So Stoop has his pick of the litter here for who he wants to drop the hammer on. Waiting for it. Ultimate Weapon getting to back here as Genji. Does take out IDDQD. Psycho Waffle making his way in. Resurrection is up. Does not get Chronic in it. Chronic was dead for too long. Just Wolf now having to just immediately speed right out of there. as Coolmat takes out Psycho. So a little bit of a strange fight, how it went down, but here comes the sound bear from Nubris, and Nubris is going to push right in. Only 10 seconds remain. One shot has to get on the point, but here comes the Death Blossom. Coolmat taking out 2. Nubris gotta hang on.
Their entire plan there was to get super aggressive, try to get kills, and then resurrect out of it. That's why Psycho was completely out of the fight. He wasn't even on the same part of the map as the rest of the team, and then none of them really went super aggro. None of them were able to get kills. The Genji died on the cafe, forcing Psycho to get up there to resurrect him for kind of the solo res. Brings him back up, dies immediately. Did not work out exactly how they wanted on that last push, but that was totally their plan, as Psycho was not in his team, wasn't damage boosting, wasn't healing or doing anything. He was waiting for them to die. They didn't even die quick enough, so they needed to get a little more aggressive there. Did not work out. All that Nubris has to do now is capture this first point.
And Nubris in the driver's seat now. They have an easy path here to cap things out here in Hollywood. And it's going to be rough for one shot. I mean, the only, of course, only option for one shot is that they have to have just as good of a defense, and that doesn't even win them the map. That just gives them a draw, so not the greatest look coming out from them here, but it is the path they will have to go on if they wish to proceed. And that defense rolling out here for the one-shot squad. It's going to be Chronic here on the Reinhardt, Xe on the Lucio, Wolf on Symmetra, Ultima Weapon on the Junkrat, Psycho Waffle on Mercy, and Dot going to be on the Roadhog.
Yeah, so pretty standard on the defense there. Well, I mean, standard for NA means, and the fact that they have to hold first. Seeing the good old Junkrat and the Symmetra up here. The only thing that they're missing is a Torb, which, you know, they could add in, but it maybe if Xe is good enough, he's just a better version of a turret anyway. So on the offense, though, to contest with this is going to be IDDQD on the Reaper. Stoop will play Winston. Bonathil on Lucio. Buds will be playing the Genji. Cool Matt 69 on Roadhog, and Custa on the Mercy.
By the way, we have an update here from the lower bracket. I suspect as much given that they all logged off, but CLG has fallen to Selfless GGs, so kind of an upset there. CLG, they're out of the tournament. That is it. Melty right now playing one son.
Kind of odd this Selfless team surprisingly maybe MVP earlier.
If you're a full Mr. Roboto, Hex, hold that thought. As the offense Nubris right now taking their approach, and Stoop on the Winston here. This is going to be a very aggro offense. He's just going to look to leap right into the cafe. Buds will be his fall through, and Xe might not be long for this world, as Winston Genji combination is really strong. I'm surprised you don't see it a little bit more often. Stoop going right into the back line. Buds here with the fall through. Ultra Weapon not phased though, able to get out of it, does need a little bit of poke. Oh no, Buds hit the trap, hits a concussive mine, down he goes. Nubris still doing all sorts of inroads into this. They can still take this in the first fight. Here comes the tire though, and Costa just getting run right over. IDDQD though, coming right back up. Yeah. So it's a little bit rough. IDDQD now on the triple kill, and Nubris might have this point here already.
Yeah, here's the backline. Just really focused on the Mercy there. That should be it on this first point. They're already at 2/3. Yeah, they're moving forward. That's it.
Like a waffle gang go down. That does get the res on
last second res
before dying. Dot is here on the point. They're trying to stall this out and actually came real close to killing Coolmat there. Go over plus bomb up in a second. Problem is for Tracer, she has to stay on the point. Plus bomb going to come out, does not stick. Chronic comes back in at the 11th hour. Swings the hammer, did earth shatter people down, just didn't have the follow up. As IDDQD just being the reigning champion here on the point, and will be a big reason as to why Nubris is able to take this map.
Yeah, they took Hollywood in really decisive fashion. They're able to completely shut them out of first point. They gather themselves. So Coolmat 69 on his Reaper play.
One second, I'm gonna call you back. This Comcast is doing all sorts of terrible things. 1 second. Play for Access Comcast. All right. Are you back?
All right. Am I back?
You're still a little bit Mr. Destructoid, but still hearable, if nothing else.
Okay. I'll chill for a bit.
All right, so first map going to Nubris, pretty down fashion. They get the full hold, they get the capture right after, and now it's going to be up to one shot to take us to a map where they'll feel just a little bit more comfortable, but potentially one map away here from getting knocked into the lower bracket, and Nubris, conversely, one map away from sealing their entry into the grand finals.
Yeah, it's either going to be Dorado or Kings. We'll see if Ultima can put his carry pants on. Looks like we're going to Dorado.
Dot is getting a drink. It's not using the bathroom. It means he's back immediately. There's no wash hands dance game, anything like that going on. That's actually one of my favorite Twitchies. Anytime someone says with BRB and they get back within the minutes, it's like, wash hands. Because you know they're not. Someone might bullshit and be like, okay, I just used hand sanitizer, guys. I did the quick spritz.
Yeah,
probably not.
But that's like putting on cologne instead of showering. It's not the same thing.
Oh my god, that is actually the worst thing. You know, you want to know what's the actual worst is when someone goes to the, I'm going to cologne instead of showering, and they're sitting next to you on a 6-hour flight. That, my friend, is hell.
Sounds pretty awful. I guess the step up from that would be, or like the worst, even worse than that would be if someone decides to just Axe body spray shower rather than cologne shower.
Oh god.
I guess if you mark another sponsor off the list.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Hex, did you know that Axe is sponsoring? That'd be brutal. Anyways, take a look here at the defense as it rolls out here for the Nubris side. It's gonna be Buds here on the Reaper, Cool Matt 69 on the Roadhog, Stoop gonna be on the Reinhardt, Custa on Mercy, IDDQD on the 76, and Bonifil and Lucio.
Well, it looks like they're not going to hold at first point, which is something that Envy did to great success. Reunited has tried and has had mixed success on it, but has been able to hold this first point Dorado. It's definitely becoming a thing, but they're going to play the more conservative defense. Now, on the offense, it's going to be Psycho Waffle on Mercy. Wolf will play Lucio, double supports there. Xe and Ultima Web will represent the DPS, and Reaper and Pharah. Chronic and Dot will play the tank heroes of Reinhardt and Roadhog.
As Ultimate Weapon going to be going in, looking for his opportunity. And Ultimate Weapon's been having a good day, even though they did not win the last map. I thought, been really impressed with Ultimate Weapon. Good play from him to Pharah, good play from him on the Genji. I don't think he's been the problem with One Shot when One Shot has been losing.
So the slow push happens here. They're going to just walk through the archway, not even trying to get some damage over the top. Ultima Web does the thing that all Pharahs do early on this map, jumps up, gets some damage over the top.
So both teams trying off. Neither team wanting to blitz in too heavily here. The defense, of course, very content being behind the archway. The offense, you go into crazy, it will punish. You will get punished very heavily. So just have to wait and look for the opportunity. Ultimate Weapon still bouncing up and down, looking for the right pickoff. Really giving it to Reaper here, though. Reaper will get healed up. The problem is here for One Shot is that they're taking a lot of time, not being too aggressive. But here they go. They are moving in. They sense an opportunity, just knocking Reinhardt around. Reinhardt, though, able to get to the back line. Dot, though, able to take out Cool Matt, so 65 in favor of One Shot. Patience perhaps paying off, and here comes IDDQD. The flank on 76 is real. Will he continue moving forward? But no, the hook comes in. He's only going to be saved by the sound barrier in the end. Really back and forth on both teams as now they both have a sound barrier. Now Blossom, though, comes in at the very end. One Shot, 3 kills towards the end, and he might just have the sex.
Yeah, definitely a bunch of kills there. They get 3 towards the end. There's nothing to reinforce here as they chose not to run that Symmetra. There was no resurrection available. It's just really going to be interesting where the defense tries to set up here as Xe is already creeping up top. Ultima already there too. They're going to try to deny this high ground. No shield tank up top for them.
Widowmaker here.
Bud's on Widow now. So really interesting positions from both sides here as the defense is just hiding out inside the top end of the building here, looking for a high noon perhaps, but also Xe and Psycho are both trying to get some poke in too.
Yeah, Bud's right now more concerned with the left side than the middle. I think at some point he's going to have to switch over in a hurry. As IDDQD, though, on the being really aggressive here on the defense, perhaps too much so. Custom goes down, IDDQD down to half HP. He's just stick to the high ground right now. He knows he's low. And the defense able to just swarm around the payload. Stoop and Cool Matt. The tank pressure is real. They take people out. And Dot able to take out Buds. The long-range hook, absolutely devastating. So Bud's going to be out of it for a while. Offense will have a chance to regroup here and actually bring it back onto the defense.
Okay, so Buds is going to come up on this Widow. I think if he has another life like he just had, he will switch to something else because it was not great. It does represent some pressure, but he didn't get anything going from it. So the offense is going to come in now. Giant Earthshaker comes down from Chronic.
Yeah, the Chronic really set up his team. Their ultimate weapon able to capitalize on that. The res comes up, but the positioning right now is absolutely huge. Unless Stoop gets a big Earth Shatter, he's not going to be able to recover. Dot, though, takes him out immediately. It's going well here for one shot. They only need a few more kills to make this their own. Dot looks for the pick, doesn't get it. So they're being hyper aggressive. Bud's is still in the back here as Widow. Takes out Exceed, looking out for Wolf. Soundbearer out here from defense. They're not out of it yet. Especially if Bud's able to get one more pick. Takes out Wolf, so Bud's now coming alive. Forces out the Resurrection. Moves to the top. Can Bud's work his magic right now? It's a possibility.
Well, it's a couple kills from Watch Out, though, post-resurrection. It is now a 6v4. They're absolutely cleaning up on the card despite that Earth Shatter. That was a little late. Stoop's going to go down here. They're going to be rolling through momentum-wise, and they're going to be loaded up on ultimates. Whole Hog may be a little bit of a misuse there, but he might be switching off of that soon. But they're going to have Barrage. They're going to have Death Blossom. They're going to have Earth Shatter. One Shot really riding this wave right now.
Oh, wow. They just used the Barrage right away on Cool Mat, and why not? I guess you take a look at it. Custom's not going to be able to res him up. He's going to be down for a while, and he's been one of the bigger threats. Buds, of course, now off of the Widowmaker on the Pharah. I don't know, by the way, in the last push, Buds did have an opportunity to take out Ultimate Weapon and maybe turn the fight, but it was very difficult. He had to hit every shot. Was not able to do that. And look at that Concussive Blast from Ultimate Weapon. Puts Reinhardt in a bad position. Stoop now needs to be careful not to die as a result from that, as Buds picked right out of the air. Bad times continuing right now for Buds as the offense moving right forward. Chronic's Earth Shadow sets up another 2 kills. And Rez does come in from Custa towards the end, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. One Shot has just had the huge edge in positioning and otherwise right now.
Yeah, it's just another phenomenal Earth Shatter from Chronic. He's been playing crazy good this game. The tank has been doing so much work. Dot does bust out his Whole Hog again late. Custa is going to go down at the end. This is going to be One Shot, making a very fast time on Dorado.
Chronic had some good plays towards the end, but I'd argue Dot has been the bigger beast right now. His Roadhog play has been phenomenal. He's been setting things up. He's been making Buds just hate his life. We do have a last-ditch Earth Shatter coming out, but it is not enough. And 3:56 remaining on the time as they cap that out. That is a very quick time for Dorado. One Shot looking very strong.
Super fast time. They look great there. Well, the first time we saw One Shot is when we jumped onto the lower bracket, and I mentioned that it's going to be a lot on Chronic. You also mentioned that Dot had a great game on his Roadhog, which they did, but really the tanks just cleaned up in that entire game. Really nice tank play out of both of them. If they can get some people to step up around Ultima, who's already been playing really well today, they could actually take this set against Nubris.
No, entirely possible, and we'll see what goes on here. Nubris at points does look very mortal. They have points where they look great and look to be competing with the very top tier in the game. Then they have points where they don't look quite as great. They give things up, like you look at their loss, or not series loss, but map loss earlier to CLG. They just did not play as well as they should have. It was super close. They lost it by 2 seconds, but it shouldn't have been within 2 seconds to begin with if they had played everything as right as they should have. So we'll see how things go. I think parts of Nubris are definitely a work in progress, but while we're taking a look at them, as they step here on the offense, going to be Buds here on the Zarya, IDDQD on the Reaper once more, Cool Mat on the Roadhog, Vonathil and Lucio, Custa on Mercy, and Stoop going to be on the Winston.
Check this out.
Well, defensively, they are a team that still runs a Symmetra. That is going to be Rolf on the Symmetra for One Shot. Dot will play Roadhog, Xe on the Soldier 76, Chronic, of course, on his Reinhardt. Psycho Waffle will be playing the Mercy, and Ultima is on that Trash Mouse. So they definitely have their style of defense here. Symmetra and Trash Mouse both on Hollywood and Dorado.
Offense on the way. First hook comes in the Chronic. He's very lucky that he didn't get pulled over via Roadhog hook magic. Chronic, though, will live to fight another day. Is backing up right now. And this is good for the one-shot defense. You don't want to hold too far up. You just want to hold the courtyard. Make the offense beat you, especially when they're under this degree of time pressure. This is not an easy time to beat at all for Ghost.
No, I mean, already only 4.5 minutes left, and we just started the map. That is an amazing offense, never got so loud. They really need to win like 1 or 2 fights, and it's probably going to be over, but Bud starts it off killing Dot.
Yeah, Stoop went in really aggressively. 2 kills here already for the side of Nubris, but Ultima Weapon, the terror here on the Junkrat, gets value in the backline, throws down the trap, and they're going to have a tire in play in just a moment. And it takes out Bonatho and Bonds. How did Zarya not kill that tire? I don't understand. A double kill for Ultima Weapon. What in the world?
Not only that, how did he not kill himself with that? However, they are moving forward. They're going to get this first point without a teleporter ever being dropped. Bonatho has to switch off of 100% Symmetra. They get this first point extremely quickly, almost faster than One Shot even did as well. 3:45 to finish out the map.
I want to look at the replay for that. I mean, maybe Buds wasn't fully charged up or something, but 50 HP on the tire is not much. How did that tire not die? I'm just
a little weird.
Flabbergasted. Either way, the offense in Nubris moving forward. They're still saying pretty good timer. They have 3.5 minutes. They can get through the streets phase without issue. They do have an ability of taking this away from One Shot. Coolmat already took out Ultimate Weapon. Big Engine is down, but Chronic says no to this. Drops the Earth Shatter, takes out Coolmat, sets up Don Nexi for 2 extra kills. Custa is down. There will be no res. And One Shot going to solidify his Bonafil. Just eats the axe right to the face.
Yeah, they really only need 1 or 2 fights. That's how good their offense was. 3 minutes left to finish out the entire map. It's kind of coming down to it that Nubris needs to win this next fight or the one after to be able to even compete here.
I'll take a look at the timer. About 3 minutes remaining here. If Nubris can get through on this push, they'll still be in good shape. If they get stalled out here, their odds of winning just probably go right into the toilet. So take a look at Xe. He's going to be looking for the flank tac visor here. That is what 76 is doing in this location. There he is. He's going right to the backline. Tac visor is out. Gonna meet our friend the Sound Bearer though, so kind of a problem here. He's still laying in the damage. Vonethal in trouble. Stoop going down.
Down.
3 kills here for the defense, and as much as IDDQD wants to do work, he's gonna hit the deck, go right down. He's gonna be another good defense here from the side of One Shot.
Yeah, they lost their Mercy pretty early in that fight. It was a decent signal that that was going to be over. However, they are going to have Death Blossom and Whole Hog up. Maybe they can get something going on that. And I keep mentioning the time because it's so low. 2 minutes left to finish the map. They're getting some pressure now, but they're not taking high ground, choosing to just push the cart, focus on this ground fight.
Ultimate Weapon coming around top, has Kusta in his sights. Will he drop the barrage? Not going to do it yet. Kusta able to get away from him. 2 kills here for the side of Nubris. The barrage comes out, but too low, too late. Whole Hog just doing way too much damage. And Psycho dies before getting the res off, so there's still life yet in this Nubris squad, but if they get wiped even once in this last point, that's going to be it.
Yeah, sure.
Now, here's the key for One Shot. Don't chain deaths. I've seen One Shot in this exact same situation before, where people just went out, they chained deaths, and they threw in Dorado. Please, One Shot, do not throw here on Dorado. I beg of you.
Well, Reinhardt's all alone. He's going to get face-checked by this Reaper. A little bit risky there. They do get reinforced up top, though.
They're not here at full power, though, is the only thing that I have issue with. The Summoner does come out here from One Shot, though. They are going to move in. They get the big hook on the Stoop. Stoop's going to go down. And here comes a log from Dot. That's going to take out Farah in a flash. IDDQD's going to get knocked right. Oh, no, not like this. Rez comes out. Actually, Stoop able to stay alive for now. And this is the blitz that Nubris needs right now. Nubris needs to keep up what they're doing if they want to take this fight. They're still getting the better of these trades after the resurrection. And looks like a look at IDDQD. Death Blossom at the ready. Runs right in. Takes out Chronic. Soundbearer on the way. And oh my goodness. One Shot in trouble under the gun. There's 40 seconds remaining, Hex. Nubris will win this game if they get here in just a moment. Dot's gonna pull out IDDQD, but what about the point? The point being contested. Will they be able to stall for enough time? Ultimate Weapon with the Dragon Blade, running around, slices and dicing, takes it out, or taken out by Coolmat. Coolmat on the triple kill right now. The cleanup from Buds coming in over the top. This is so ridiculously close at the moment. 20 seconds remaining, and no! Nubris going to cap it out. This is the second time I've seen One Shot have this sort of collapse on Dorado. I don't know when the last time was, but I definitely remember feeling the same feeling, and I was hoping for map 3, not going to happen. One Shot now going to have to fight their way out of the lower bracket. You hate to see this kind of thing happen.
Oh, I thought I was being too hard on One Shot.
You are being too hard on One Shot. That was still incredibly close.
It was close, but they've done that before. They've broken my heart before, just like that is the problem. There's been situations where they should win this game. Everything is on their doorstep. They should take the next step. They should be a team that can face off against these top teams, and they do that to me time and again where they throw it away like that. It's hard to watch. I'm heartbroken about it. So that's why I'm a little bit hard on One Shot. They do go down there. They set a really nice time, unable to stabilize at all on the defense in the last 3 minutes. Lose that map to Nubris. Nubris is going to be awaiting whoever comes out of the lower bracket. They are our winter bracket champions. Ah, man. I mean, I'm not trying to be hard on them. It hurts, man. It hurts.
Will they be able to stall for enough time? Suddenly echo. So take a look here. It looks like Melty is still in game with OneSun. So OneSun's still a threat here. Even though MVP space has gone down, the threat from Korea has faded. The threat from China is still here in this NA Weekly. And for me, I'm definitely rooting for OneSun. I hope OneSun is able to take out Melty in what is actually an NA or a China versus EU battle. And then they would be going up against Selfless in our lower bracket round 9, I believe. It's round 9 or round 10.
Yeah, those are best of ones, so they should be wrapping up momentarily. Round 10, round 11 in the lower bracket are best of ones. The finals of the lower bracket, in which One Shot will be waiting the winner of Selfless versus their next opponent, will be a best of 3. We'll do that one, and then we'll jump back up to the winners bracket where Nubris will be waiting to fight whoever comes out of that in a best of 5. They will have a 1-game advantage going into that because, hey, they didn't lose today.
Okay, I'm solely